Good morning, sir.
Very good morning.
Sir, Sachin this side.
Yeah. Trinath bhai, I'm not able to hear you.
मैं बोलता हूँ सर. Give me 1 second. Sachin, just a second.
Yes, I can now hear. Trinath bhai, now I can hear. Yeah. Very good morning. Very good morning, Trinath bhai. I'm fine. How are you? नहीं पहुंच रहा है. I can hear you. I can hear you. Yes. Perfect.
Honor for us to have you over here because from your busy schedule, I'll not take much of your time. Please, over to you, Lisa. And it also will be trying to conclude by 11:30, because I know that you are having more other meetings. So thank you, sir. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Trinath bhai, and very good afternoon. Very good morning to all of you. My apologies, I'm not being able to be present in person because of some personal issues. But hopefully next year I should be present in person with you. If we look at Indian economy today, we are facing US tariff hurdles, and most people thought that India and US are natural partners, and we will actually benefit from the Trump administration. बट ट्रम्प साहब के लिए हिंदी फिल्म का एक डायलॉग है, डॉन को समझना मुश्किल ही नहीं, नामुमकिन भी है. His policy is very unpredictable. Undoubtedly, he has put India with the highest tariff in the world. Only Brazil and India receives that kind of tariff. Now, our exports to US are not very large, but whatever exports we make, they are employing lots and lots of people. For example, textiles, handicrafts, gems and jewelry, aquaculture. All these sectors export little, but they employ large number of people. And this is where we will be hit by the American tariff. Fortunately for us, government has taken several steps to counter American tariffs. First, they are putting money in the pockets of consumers and citizens. This year's budget, we had income tax rebate of about 1 lakh crore. Taxpayers will now have to pay 1 lakh crore less tax every year. Hopefully, they will go out and spend. Then in September, GST Bachat Utsav came. This year, bottom of the pyramid consumers will benefit by 98,000 crore. and top of the pyramid consumers उनकी जेब से 48,000 crore निकाल देंगे. Net still about 50,000 crore worth of GST budget will be there. Next year on an annualized basis that will become almost 1 lakh crore. Hopefully consumers will go out and spend. Then there is interest rate reduction. People have borrowed money for housing loan, auto loan, consumer loan. ब्याज के दरों में कटौती हुई, so they will also benefit by 80,000 crore to 1 lakh crore. Unlikely कि ये पैसा खर्च होगा. People are more likely to use that money to repay their debt. Very recently, government banned gaming. As per some estimate, on a monthly basis, people used to lose about 10,000 crore playing games. आपने अगर आसपास में नोटिस किया होगा, आपके वॉचमैन, मिल्क डिलीवरी गाय, ये सब लोग गेम्स खेलते रहते थे. More than 20 crore Indians used to play games and lose about 10,000 crore. Now, hopefully, that money which is being saved will be spent in something better. And finally, 2027 beginning, 8th pay commission will come into play. About 3 crore government employees across central government, state government, local government, public sector undertakings will benefit by about 2.5 lakh crore to 3 lakh crore. Of course, this will happen in tranches, but government employees across state, center, and local will benefit. All this money are being put with citizens, hoping that this money will be spent on Swadeshi. 1 lakh crore income tax rebate for taxpayers, about 2 lakh crore GST rebate for bottom of the pyramid, about 1 lakh crore EMI burden reduction, about 1,20,000 crore gaming savings, and about 2.5 lakh crore to 3 lakh crore 8th pay commission recommendation. More than 6 lakh crore will be put in the pockets of various people. And if this money is used on Swadeshi goods and services, economy will benefit. Which is why you have seen Prime Minister extolling people, please buy Swadeshi. If we go and buy Apple iPhones with this money, India will benefit maybe 5%, but 95% benefit will go to America. If we go and buy this, use this money to have holiday in Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam, those countries will benefit, India will not benefit. Which is why it is important to spend this money in India. As we speak, we are also negotiating with US for a tariff deal. Hopefully, there will be some sanity coming back to US policy. And we are also finding alternate export market for textiles, for shrimp, for gems and jewelry. For handicraft, it may be a little bit difficult to find alternate market. Overall, if we see, compared to global economy, we are doing reasonably well. And because of US tariffs, government has gone full throttle on the reform side. Today evening, we are meeting collectively as market experts with one union minister to recommend next set of reforms. The regulator is also regularly calling us to find out what they can do better. So overall, there is more enthusiasm for reforms, and collectively this can keep our economy doing well. Again, if we see our history, all other countries outperformed us. In 1947, India and Japan were of similar level. Today, Japan is a developed nation way ahead of India. In 1960, India and South Korea were of similar size in per capita GDP. Today, South Korea is almost a developed nation. In 1980, India and China were of similar size and similar per capita GDP and similar population. Today they are 5 times bigger than us. We have moved forward, but others have jumped over us. Why did that happen? Multiple things, but one, the best of the Indian talent migrated abroad. IIT से पास होते थे, अमेरिका चले गए, यूरोप चले गए. IIM से पास होते थे, फॉरेन पोस्टिंग के लिए कोशिश करी. We kept on losing our talent abroad. Now, there are people who still go abroad, but lot of talent is staying back in India and setting up businesses, joining Indian companies. This talent retaining in India gives us confidence that now we will move ahead of rest of the world. Second, talent required infrastructure. एक जमाना था where to move from one city to another city, बीच में octroi नाका आ जाता था, and for days trucks will stand idle over there because corrupt octroi officials will not allow smooth passage of goods. Now, infrastructure has been built, roads, ports, telecom, rules and regulations have been rationalized, and we have a long distance to cover. अभी तो शुरुआत करी है. This talent is backed by infrastructure. Today it is possible कि बैंगलोर की फैक्ट्री से निकला हुआ माल सिर्फ 5 घंटे के अंदर वहां पे एयरपोर्ट में लगे खड़े कार्गो प्लेन में लोड हो सकता है और एक्सपोर्ट्स के लिए रवाना हो सकता है. Mundra port today operates at same efficiency which best of the port in the world is operating. Power cuts have become far lesser. It's not been eliminated, but far lesser. So talent and infrastructure combined हो रही है. And finally, धंधा करने के लिए पैसा चाहिए. पहले आपके माँ बाप के पास पैसा था तो आप बिजनेसमैन बन सकते थे. बहुत कम लोग ऐसे थे जो बगैर पैसे धंधा कर पाए. बट आज की तारीख में अगर आपके पास बिजनेस आइडिया है तो पैसा देने के लिए वेंचर कैपिटल, प्राइवेट इक्विटी, आईपीओ मार्केट सब अवेलेबल है. आज भारतीय इकोनॉमी में एक त्रिवेणी संगम हो रहा है ऑफ टैलेंट, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर एंड कैपिटल, and which is why our growth is happening. Let me give you some example of entrepreneurs in which we have invested as Kotak Mutual Fund. टोयोटा दुनिया की बहुत बड़ी ऑटोमोबाइल कंपनी है, and they normally produce engine and engine spare parts within Toyota group. Finally, one day they decided to go outsource engine spare parts. They could have gone to a Japanese company, a Chinese company, a German company, but guess whom did they found appropriate? A small automobile component company in Bangalore. The quality, the precision which this Bangalore auto component company was doing was acceptable to Toyota quality. They became the first company among their vendor list to supply engine spare parts. We have invested in another company. When Mitsubishi was looking to make next generation power turbine, they needed a particular kind of alloy. They threw that challenge to all their vendors. And guess who qualified first? This Indian company based out of southern India. They provided the alloy which was needed for Mitsubishi's next generation turbine for making power. There is another explosive company in which we have invested. उनके loitering munitions ऑपरेशन सिंदूर में हमने देखे कैसे पाकिस्तान में तबाही मचाए. This is a company which has now made explosive where there will be only light and no sound. Blast will occur, but only with light, no sound. Today they are exporting explosives to many other parts of the world. There is another company where we have invested. They make CNC machine. When Apple came to India to make iPhones, they were importing CNC machines from China. Now they are buying CNC machines from this company. Overall, when we see many of such entrepreneurs are there, in listed segment, which are doing globally competitive work. For them, world has become their playground, and they are competing with the best in the world. ऐसा नहीं है कि ये सिर्फ हम listed company में देख रहे हैं. Even in unlisted companies, entrepreneurs are making an impact. All of us have rare earth monopoly of China. In Bangalore, there is a company called Exponential Energy, which has made a motor which doesn't require rare earth. Hopefully, their prototype will get support from the ecosystem, and they will be able to make motors which won't require rare earth. We all heard about BYD creating a battery which can be used for electric vehicle and which can get charged in 5 minutes. That electric battery was for the motor car. There is another startup in India which has created a truck battery which can be charged in 15 minutes. These are all prototypes. They will require capital. They will require ecosystem support. But as and when that happens, one can feel that Indian talent is not behind anyone in the world. Abhi artificial intelligence ka zamana hai. And clearly, India doesn't have a LLM model like ChatGPT, Grok, Perplexity, Gemini, Copilot. All these models have been developed by American companies. Even China has developed their models like DeepSeek. We have missed that bus undoubtedly. But there are startups in India which are making app on those LLMs. There is today in voice AI, 2 Indian startups who have created voice AI called Luna and Maya 1. These voices today are better than Siri and Alexa, as they can sing, they can whisper, they can talk in emotional tones. In emotive AI, these 2 companies is global leader, comparable with the best in the world. And they haven't got billions of dollars to invest. They have made this with few $1 million. Now, how do we scale up these businesses? How do we encourage these entrepreneurs? How do we ensure that they go and conquer the world? India's story looks good. We have our challenges undoubtedly, but hopefully we will overcome those challenges. We will encourage our talent with infrastructure and capital, and eventually that will create a Viksit Bharat. Coming to equity market, we have seen relentless selling by FPIs for last almost 4 years. Some days they buy, some days they sell, but net they have been sellers. Many a times we wonder, are we giving exit to FPI? They are all smart investors. Why are they exiting India? When we look at from their point of view, they are exiting India because on a 1-year basis, India has underperformed other markets. Our valuation looks rich. And for last 6 quarters, our earnings growth was single digit. उनके पास reasons थे बेचने के लिए. सामने हम लोग खरीद रहे हैं. With friends like Trinath Bhai, who keeps on sending your money to us, we have been buying in the market. Why are we buying? Undoubtedly, last 6 quarters earnings was single digit. But with GST Bachat Utsav, next 6 quarters earnings could be double digit. Undoubtedly, last 1 year equity market in India has not delivered good return. But if I look at next 5 years, I think India is the cheapest emerging market, and we should be able to deliver reasonable return. When I look at foreigners' point of view, they are finding other markets attractive. Korea, Taiwan, they are all up 50%. China. But when I look at Chinese market, despite rising, is still trading where it was last trading in 2007. आज हम 2025 में हैं. 18 साल से चाइनीज मार्केट ने किसी को कोई रिटर्न नहीं दिया है. चाइनीज मार्केट ऊपर जाती है, नीचे आती है, ऊपर जाती है, नीचे आती है, ऊपर जाती है, नीचे आती है, और 17 साल पुराने लेवल पे आज भी ट्रेड कर रही है. हमारे यहाँ पे तो हमें याद नहीं है 17 साल पहले निफ्टी कहाँ पे था, सेंसेक्स कहाँ पे था। तो हम लॉन्ग टर्म देख के निवेश कर रहे हैं, लोग एफपीआई शायद शॉर्ट टर्म देख के बेच रहे हैं। हमारी उम्मीद यही है कि सुबह का भूला शाम को घर लौट आएगा। They have been selling, but eventually they will realize that there is no country like India for them to invest. यहाँ पे आप देखिए, सुजुकी मोटर को 1980 में भारत आई, उन्होंने गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया के साथ मारुति उद्योग लिमिटेड करके जॉइंट वेंचर बनाया, फिर वो गवर्नमेंट कंपनी से सुजुकी कंपनी बनी, एंड आज वो भारत की सबसे बड़ी ऑटोमोबाइल कंपनी है। वो सुजुकी जितनी गाड़ियां पूरी दुनिया में बेचती है, उससे ज्यादा गाड़ियां मारुति इंडिया में बेचती है। मारुति is becoming bigger than Suzuki. Suzuki's entire market cap is dependent upon Maruti. मारुति की वजह से ही सुजुकी का वजूद है। ये भारत की खासियत है। यहाँ पे सब्सिडियरी कंपनी अपनी पेरेंट कंपनी से बड़ी होने का ख्वाब देख सकती है और मेहनत करे तो अचीव भी कर सकती है। दुनिया में कितने ऐसे देश है जहाँ पे सुजुकी जैसी कंपनी जाके ये सोचे कि कल को ये कंपनी, भारत की सब्सिडियरी मेरे से बड़ी हो जाएगी। ये जो हमारी ग्रोथ पोटेंशियल है, यह लोगों को निवेश करने के लिए उत्सुक करेगी और सुबह का भूला शाम को लौट आएगा, ऐसा हमें लगता है। अगर वो नहीं भी आए तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता। हमारे पास इतना डोमेस्टिक कैपिटल है कि हम अपने उद्योगपतियों को फंड कर सके। We can support our entrepreneurs and they will create the growth. Obviously उतार चढ़ाव आते रहेंगे, मार्केट है तो कभी धूप कभी छांव चलती रहेगी, but for a long term investor who is investing in a disciplined manner, Indian market still will provide one of the best return. With this, Srinath bhai, I will stop my talk, but happy to take some questions.
So much, Nilesh bhai. Actually, really it is a excellent because you are a full of energy as well as full of resources, full of data points uh, on Indian economy as well as global economy. There are a few questions we have collected from our clients because they have requested the privilege to have this question. The question is from Mr. Dinesh Patel ji from Vadodara, Gujarat. He has raised a question. What do you look at before investing in any company, and which sector do you believe will perform well for next 5 years? Apart from BFSI, consumption, pharma, auto, power. Yes, raised.
So Dinesh bhai, when we invest in a company, what we look at is business and manager. हमारा एक 2x2 बॉक्स होता है, अच्छा बिजनेस, अच्छा मैनेजर, गुड बिजनेस, गुड मैनेजर, प्लीज गो इन इन्वेस्ट, बैड बिजनेस एंड बैड मैनेजर, प्लीज अवॉइड. नाउ if there are good business and bad manager or bad business and good manager, you probably trade when there is opportunity. But majority of our portfolio, more than 80%, will be in good business and good manager. Now good business की definition क्या है? बिजनेस जहां पे रिटर्न ऑन इक्विटी कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल से ज्यादा हो. अगर आप 10% कमा के 12% चुकाने वाले हैं तो आज नहीं तो कल बैंकरप्ट हो जाओगे, बट 12% बना के 8% चुकाने वाले हैं तो डेफिनेटली आपका ग्रोथ होता रहेगा. सो वन ओवर अ साइकिल कैन बिजनेस जनरेट मोर रिटर्न ऑन इक्विटी देन द कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल. सेकंड, बिजनेस अगर कार है तो मैनेजर ड्राइवर है. गाड़ी कितनी भी अच्छी हो, ड्राइवर खराब होगा तो गाड़ी चलेगी कहां से? सो वी एंगेज विथ मैनेजमेंट टू फाइंड व्हाट इज देयर विजन. अगर उनका कोई विजन नहीं है तो गाड़ी अपनी निर्धारित स्थान पे कैसे पहुंचेगी? सेकंड, एग्जीक्यूशन कैसे करेंगे? पेज 3 की पार्टी में आएंगे या फैक्ट्री में दिखेंगे? छुट्टियां मनाते मिलेंगे या बिजनेस में दिखेंगे? So execution capability and execution ethics are also important. तीसरी चीज मैनेजर में जो देखते हैं विजन और एग्जीक्यूशन के बाद, दैट इज गवर्नेंस. अगर मैं चोर से धंधा करूंगा, वो पैसा बनाएगा और मुझे ठग लेगा, मेरे पैसे लेके वो फरार हो जाएगा. So we have to deal with management who has vision, who has execution capability, and whose governance process is very, very good. Now, if I meet you once, will I be able to figure out what is your vision, what is your execution, what is your governance? Answer is no. So we size our trade. पहले छोटे से शुरुआत करते हैं, फिर धीरे धीरे उसे बढ़ाते हैं. कई बार अपॉर्चुनिटी मिस भी हो जाती है, बट देन you don't take unnecessary risk. And ये सब चीज होने के बाद what matters is valuation. भाव भगवान. At a price you can buy, at a price you can sell. A good promoter, good business at very expensive valuation may not give you return. So you try to factor into valuation also. Sectorally, whatever sectors you have mentioned looks attractive from a longer term point of view. So your sector call is as good as ours, and we will focus on buying businesses run by good managers at good prices. So one, SIF is a new concept. It gives fund managers little bit of leverage and usage of derivatives in a more flexible manner. Now, different fund houses are launching different SIF. A long short will be highly risky product. A product which is using option strategy may be relatively less risky. Now, some products may be suitable for retirees, but my recommendation will be that please don't go and buy SIF at the beginning, including of Kotak Mutual Fund. Watch for 6 months how they have delivered return, what kind of volatility they are doing. And once you see the track record, then you can invest. For retirees, principal protection is important. So please invest after 6 months of track record and understanding what these products are. A long shot may not be appropriate for your risk profile, but SIF using option strategy to generate stable return will be appropriate. I believe over a period of time, there will be few SIFs which will give you return better than fixed income, fixed deposits, bank deposits, company deposits, debentures, bonds, with almost similar certainty. So it's a good product, but 6 महीना देख के परख के बाद में निवेश करना, immediately मत करना.
You have delivered, as well as we all are aligned with Viksit Bharat, because this mission also it is there, vision is also there. Tomorrow also we are going to have beach walkathon and marathon there here at Puri. Viksit Bharat 2047. The theme is like that. Also we are going to plant a tree over here in beach. That is the Viksit Bharat 2047 we are doing it. Viksit Bharat 2047, Viksit Odisha 2036. So we all are here, and thank you so much for spending your valuable time over here addressing so many clients across India, as well as so many, our more than 100 people over here, all our, colleagues of Wallet for Wealth. Also, we do have very senior people. Mr. Dr. Tapan Kumar Chand sir is the former CMD of NALCO. Mr. S.K. Acharya sir is also former CMD of Navi Valley Lignite Limited. Also, we do have Mr. Nirkanti Mishra sir, the former CEO of Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, your favorite stock. You always. So Also, we do have Mr. Andarami Acharya sir, the former CGM of Nalco. So all is very senior people over here, and also all my team members, Mr. Dinesha, I mean all the people over here. Thank you so much for spending time, and I think we'll be requesting next time you should come physically, so that for the next meeting,
Definitely.
next session will be meeting
Now,
condition.
I Srinath bhai, I have to visit Jagannath Puri, but कहते हैं कि वो जब बुलाते हैं तभी आप वहां पे पहुंच सकते हैं. So I'm waiting for my call, but I'm sure he will call me very soon. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Just a second, Nilesh bhai.
Thank you so much, sir, for
Yeah.
thank you so much, sir, for your precious time and for sharing your inspiring words with us. Now